Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another Prokon know-how clip. Today, we'll be looking at a very epic bit of functionality within SUMO, and that is the SUMO Combine Design Group. Now, with any particular model, one of the things that you can do is once you've concluded the analysis, you can proceed with using the available design links. So for those unfamiliar with design links, what they are is they basically export data, the analytical data, and the cross-sectional data of a group of elements or members to their respective design modules so that you don't manually have to carry over all of the design data. So that's, or rather analysis data. So that's your bending moments, your shear forces, etc. Now, design groups are basically epic design links because they provide live updates to your model as you change information or as you change parameters within that specific design group. So to use the design groups, you go to design links and you'll see at the moment there are 3 design groups. So they are the normal design links. So they work as per usual. And then we have here rectangular column base. So this is your column base design and combine. Now you can just create normal design groups, and then what you have to do is you have to add those members to those specific design groups. So you can see here, as I selected the paired footing, in its properties panel, there's a design group drop down, and I can assign it to any specific design group, as long as it's relevant to what that particular design group deals with. Now, combine is a very interesting one because it's got additional functionality to these 2 design groups. So if you go to combine, you'll see that there are already 5 design groups here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create a new model for us. So I'm going to go to new, trust frame, and then I'm going to save this model, okay, as trust frame. And now we can go to our analysis. So we're going to solve this. Just set this quickly. Okay. So what we've got here is it also added a subframe design group, but that won't have any effect on your model. Okay, so we will exclude subframe from these design groups because they don't have that live update functionality. So going to combine, you'll see that there's some additional functions on the left-hand side. One of them is to generate groups from sections. So the program will automatically generate design groups for you and assign those particular members to that design group, which is amazing. So just so that you know that the design group is quite limited in its scope of members that it can deal with. And at the moment, it is limited basically to your H sections, I sections, and a few of your hollow sections, and I think channels, but I do speak under correction. You've got optimize all, you've got evaluate all, and you've got export all. So what you're going to do is we are going to make use of the generate automatically generate design groups. So we're going to click in that button, and you see that it's design group 4, 5, 1, 3, and 2. And it gives us some notes: I section 11, I section 1, I section 10, I section 8, and circular hollow section. So you can rearrange those. And if you select a particular element, you'll see there, okay, so these columns are in design group 1. The columns here on the side are in design group 5. And I need to look at these top ones. Those are design group 4. We have our circular hollow sections here. So, okay, and now the process can begin. And one of the things you'll notice is that there's a status that says out of date. You have your parameters where you can select your standard that applies. So I'm just going to go for 2011 and click apply to all, and it would update the parameters of all of these design groups. And then you have optimize and evaluate. That is of relevance to us. So I'm going to click on evaluate for design group 1, and you see that it's now linking with combine, although you don't have to do anything. And you see that the status is that that particular design group fails. Evaluate that one. And so we can go on. And we can actually just click once off to evaluate all. We're just waiting for it to finish its evaluation. And we see that design group 1 actually passes, which is great. So now we're going to start a sequence of optimization. Now, just important to note that when you optimize even one of these design groups, or if you change the cross-section of any element in the model, or you change any of the loading, the status here will go to out of date. And remember, as you optimize a model, optimization might not mean that the element is made smaller, but rather that the element is made bigger. That changes the loading characteristics of that particular beam, and it changes the model actually because it means that you have a larger self-weight. Okay, so it's best to do it in sequence. So you start with optimize, and now the status here should be that it's okay. All right, and what happens is it gives you a design update, tells you how many elements were in that particular design group, and it tells you the current section size and the new section size as well. And you can choose to apply those. You can also find that particular element. So I can click apply, and you can see that those columns changed. All right. So if I evaluate these now, they will be okay. All right. And now if I optimize design group 3, that status will go to out of date, yeah. And you can see here for those two, it's from an IPE AA100 to a 254 by 146 by 31. And I can apply. All right, and so it goes on. So now if I evaluate all, it might be that design group 5 now fails because those other members are now larger than what they were before, for instance. Okay, that's great. So if I now optimize design group 4, see that there's a change, not a massive change. Evaluate all again. And the only design group left are the braces. And it might mean that those change because they are up there, that some of these design groups might fail now. You see that there's quite an increase in the size of those braces. And so in this case, I might even leave that, and I might change something up here so that I don't have to have such a large increase in cross section. But I'm going to apply that in this case. I'm going to save, and I'm going to run and evaluate all just to show that some of these design groups might fail now, just because those braces have been made quite a bit larger. All right, and there you can see design group 4 now fails. So now I have to run through the optimization process again and then evaluate all until the status of all these design groups is okay. All right, and this might not be the workflow that you would prefer to do the final design of your structure, but it's incredibly helpful to give you a head start in the process as it is. So I would make use of this functionality and then proceed to actually a more detailed look of the design of these elements and how they are dealing with their respective loads. So I really hope that that helps you a lot. This combined design group is an excellent tool to use. You do need access, or you do need an active combined subscription as well to make use of it. But it is a fantastic design group with some very, very cool functionality built into it over and above that of rectangular column and base. And I think it can really, really speed up your design process. So thank you so much for tuning in. Please remember to like and subscribe, and then I will check you in future clips.